Hey everybody, Jim from Tech Lovin'. What I've got today, this is a GTX 1070 that I had in the system. I just purchased it. And I decided I'm going to take it apart and repaste it and everything. So I did take it apart and it is filthy. And you can see over here how filthy it's not the paste, but oh, for God's sakes, the thermal pad is. It's quite filthy, so we're going to replace that thermal pad. I did just clean off the GPU. The chip, and we're going to take the old paste off of here. What I use to do this is I actually use alcohol. Oops, sorry. So I use alcohol, and I also have a spray alcohol. This is not as pure, so. And of course I use these. And I also use paper towel, but this paper towel has no fibers in it, so nothing kind of gets stuck on there. So we're gonna clean this whole thing off, the whole thing literally, and then put it back together. So 1070 is a really good card. This one has this is the Asus Strix 1070. It was running really cool anyway, but I decided to take it apart. So this is how far I've gotten so far, and we'll run through the rest. Hopefully we'll get through this relatively quickly, and I'll clean off everything and then repaste it, put it back together. It only took, what did it take? I have the cover, so I had to take the cover off, and that was 6 tiny screws, and then there was another 6, and that was it. It was pretty easy to take apart, surprisingly. Most of the time they're a little more difficult than that. And this, the RGB on this card only works on the one side. I didn't see anything amiss, but I'll check it out before I put it back together. But I didn't see anything wrong with it, but it did only work on one side. Other than that, the card worked fine. Okay, so we'll start our little cleaning process here. And I'm just going to pour a little, actually not pour, just dip a little bit of my alcohol. This desk is getting, and we're just going to, hopefully you can see that, yeah, I'm just going to rub it on. And this kind of works its way off as I move it forward. You can see how filthy it is. And we'll get it as clean as possible. It'll be good as new. Get rid of that one. And I'll get some more. Now behind me, I'm actually GTX 980 Ti that I'm overclocking, and I'm just running an artifact scan on it now. I have it at, I'll just take a look. Right now, plus 400 on the memory and plus 100 on the GPU itself, on the core. and I'll go through the stress test, and then I'll boost it up a little more, see how far I can get. And our temperature right now is 78. 73, I'm sorry, 73, but we have a hot spot of 82. No, our hot spot is 87 right now. So hot spot is 87. So I don't want to go much above that. My power limit I have set at 120. Yes, 120, and my max temp set at 90. So I'll just boost that up right now, and we'll see what it gets. So I'm going to boost up the core. I'm going to go up to 140. I do this in small increments. And we'll see if we get any artifacts. We'll label that. So now we're at 1443 on the core and 3903 on the memory. So it's 1951 on the memory, but it's double data rate, right? So it's double that. Okay, let's continue with the cleaning. And this, oh, somehow I dropped it right in there. Yeah, we got it. There we go. So I just dip it in here, and away we go. Sorry about that. Not the greatest picture, but I'll just continue on with the card here. I should just spray the whole card, which I'll probably do afterwards with the alcohol and just let it dry off. That's probably going to clean it a little better than what we're doing here. We're just getting some of the caked on stuff more than anything else. And I think I do have enough thermal pad to replace that pad. I should anyway. I'm going to have to get some more. So this is going in one of my builds. It's going in a 3600 on an MSI Tomahawk motherboard, 16 gig of RAM, Crucial Ballistics RAM, I believe. One very neat thing about this card is that you can hook up, it's got a fan, 4-pin fan inputs, and you can hook up your case fans to it, so your case fans will be controlled by the GPU rather than by the CPU, which makes sense on GPU intensive applications. So it'll help to cool this GPU, which doesn't run very hot to begin with. It's pretty impressive that way. Doesn't run hot at all. Wow, this thing really is quite filthy. I think we're gonna have to change again. This is getting pretty filthy. On to the next one. And the last video I did was of a 3600 build. It's on the other bench right now. Sorry, I didn't finish it. I just finished the build. I didn't finish the video. I should have, but I didn't. Of that build. But there was nothing out of the ordinary in the build. It went quite well. No issues, I don't think. No. Sorry, here are the fan headers down here, so you can see them. Oh, you can't see them right there. So right here and right here. So you can hook up your case fan and they'll run off the GPU. So they'll run based on the GPU temperature rather than the CPU. That makes, now I haven't had them hooked up that way at all, because actually I'm just on the bench with this build right now. I haven't put it in a case yet, but I will probably hook them up. But the card was running pretty cool anyway. Even when I was overclocking a little bit, I only initially ran an initial overclock just to see where it would go. I haven't seriously overclocked the card, but I will, because I overclock everything. And if the manufacturer is going to give me the allow me to do it, then yeah, I'm going to do it. Just take a look at some of these while I got the card off. It is I better put it around this way. I'm trying to give you a shot of these here. (16-volt, 270 ohms. Ohms, I guess. That would be these in here. Capacitors. And over here we have (2.5s). Yeah, these are still pretty filthy. The alcohol does a great job to clean these things, by the way. And that one's done. Okay. Let's switch a little bit here. And I'm just going to use a little blade here just to get underneath it. A thermal pad. Whoops. It's a pretty dull blade, so I'm not worried about cutting myself. It's kind of like my knife from work. Same thing. Dull. Very dull. I really don't want to rip it off, though. So we'll continue to do this. There. Yeah, semi-clean. Not the best, not the worst, but it is filthy. we'll do the same thing. This mean you don't have to do very much of the alcohol with that. Now I'll use my spray alcohol here. Clean that off. Get rid of this thermal paste on the copper heatsink. Kind of made it to the garbage. It's okay, my wife doesn't come down here. I'm good. Another thing we will do on this is I'll take my little blower and blow everything out of here that I can. That's where the fans are, by the way, on the other side. All work fine. And we'll do that now. I'll blow it out. So I'm just blowing out the fins. And that's good. And I will clean the fans. They're pretty clean. They're not bad, but I'll clean them anyway. And I'm just checking comb buster here. There we go. Yeah. Same thing, we're just going to use a Q-tip again. Yeah, it's not the fastest in the world, but does the job. I guess I could just use the rag, which is probably a good idea. Harder to reach everywhere with it, but all right. Getting there. Might as well, you know, do it right while you got it off. Who knows when that's going to happen again. I don't think a customer's going to do it. I'd be a little bit afraid to do it, but all right. Fuzz bunnies everywhere. Still areas where crap is stuck, little nooks and crannies. All right, now we're going to put our thermal pad back on, or a new thermal pad. And I'll grab that. Where are we at this video? 23 minutes, we're not doing too bad. Find a usable, whoops, thermal pad. Thank God I still have the covers on these thermal pads. All right, this one will work. It is close to being the same thickness. It's not exactly the same thickness, but it's close. So we can just cut this with scissors. That will be fine. And we'll just match it up here. Kind of a little stretched anyway. I'm a little short, but I think I'll be okay. I'll squash it down a little bit. All right. And we'll grab the scissors, which are right here, because I knew I put them down here somewhere. We'll just cut this. That will suffice. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that was the only thermal pads on this card. We do have to order some more. All right. So this one's pretty much scrap, but I'll keep it just because I keep them all. I don't know why. Because I'm anal. Another thing that these are good for. Getting that off. The other side is not so bad because there's one thicker side and you can usually get off with your nails, fingers. There we go. Now take off this second side, plastic. So that's off. There's the plastic. My bulldog walking around upstairs, wondering what the hell is Dad doing? This didn't need to be this long anyway for what it's covering. Oops. A little bit down here. There we go. That'll work. Get away from the screw hole. There. There's our new thermal pad. Thermal paste. Oh, I have so many choices here. Not sure which thermal paste I want to use. I just want to see what I have. Some of it's from, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, CPUs, but I'll use the best one I've got, or I guess what would be considered the best one. Let's just see what we got here. Okay, so we got this generic heatsink compound. I don't know where it's from. Probably came with a cooler. These all came with coolers. We have this thermal interface material right here. Probably hard to see, but I'll read it here. Bulk thermal conductivity more than 5 W per MK. I have to find out what the hell that means one of these days. This one is this was a high performance. That's all I'm reading on that, which is the same as this one, I believe. It's just really hard to read. Higher performance for CPU, cooler, or GPU. Thermal resistance, 0.125 centimeters, whatever, that means nothing. Thermal conductivity, 1.7. More than 5. Well, I guess I'm going to go with this. Whoops. Get that out of your eyes, sorry. I guess I'm going to go with this. What the hell? It's thermal paste. I know it's not all equal, but it's not all bad either. It's better than nothing. can get it open. Oh my goodness. Got oh, it has a sealed little piece of plastic covering it. It's got a little tiny seal that you could barely see. Just taking that off. Should throw the stuff in the garbage here. Here we go. All right. I hope you guys have been able to see this here. Most of it. I'll just turn this a little bit because we're going to do the GPU. Or the so there is what it says. The GP104 NVIDIA. All right. So let's paste this baby up. That's more than enough. And we'll put that back on. Add that to the pile. Take one of my little spreaders. I'll actually spread this a little bit. I would say that's pretty good. All right. Wipe off the excess here that we don't need. Okay, and we can commence with, with reassembly after we put a little bit of stuff away. I really should have sprayed the whole card, but I didn't. All right. So we have our fans. This is gonna, it's funny, there are two plugs. I'm only gonna use, I can only use one, but there are two plugs at the front. There's the other one there. But that is your RGB plug. I will spray down this RGB right here. So I'm just going to spray all of this down this cover with some alcohol. Just to clean it up a bit. So, you know, depending on the card, I mean, it doesn't take long. It takes about an hour to do this. So, it's not so bad. Not so bad at all. You know, I'm okay. I like RGB, kind of, but I wish they'd standardize it. It's friggin' ridiculous. ARGB, RGB. It would just be a lot easier. Okay, thermal paste is on, everything is on. This will go on next. That's what the, well, we've seen it, haven't we? With a thermal pad. Make sure everything lines up here. There we go. Just want to check on our fan. That is going to go in there. Sorry. Trying to give you a good picture, so I'm going to plug in the fan right now. This right here. It's in there pretty secure, and I'll put the screws back in. Oops. Oh, there we go. Just make sure that we're all good here. All right. So it's going to be these screws with a little spring for where the GPU is. And we'll, whoops. Got to find the hole here. That's better. We're only going to put them in loose, and then we'll do them in a crisscross pattern. For now, we'll just get them in. I don't want to put too much pressure on the fans because they haven't got the shroud on the other side either. Of course, I voided the warranty by taking this apart. Don't think it's under warranty anymore. It is a 1070. All right. Let's do our crisscross pattern here. And we'll tighten them down right to a stop. That's it. Tighten down to a stop. Okay. So we're good there. And then we have another two to put in. That is these that don't have a spring onto them, and they go in the card back here. Probably can't see where I am. Yes, you can. They should. Oh yeah, there you are. They should go in relatively easily. If they won't go in, just back them off and try again. That's done. And now all we have to do is put on our cover, and we are complete. Okay, and that is kind of it. I'll just put it back together. And so we're done here. And I'll show you the completed build that I was supposed to do a second video on that I didn't do. So I'll show you that now. So that is a repaste and new thermal pad, and so we'll test it and make sure everything's okay. Hopefully we don't have to take it apart again because we pooched something. I don't think we did, but you never know. And here is the other build here that we finished. So this is, you know, hang on a second. I can't even remember what it is. Is this another 3600 or is this a Ryzen 7 1700? This might be a 1700, I can't remember. This has a GTX 980 Ti. So that's the one we finished and I completed. I'd started this, did a video on the build itself, and yeah, was supposed to do a second one, but did not. Okay. Sorry, just running my stress test again on there. Yeah, it's been good. So anyway, That's it for today. I'm Jim from Tech Lovin'. Thanks for watching, and I'll try to do another video soon, but I'm back at work working, so I don't have a lot of time. I have a lot of time in the winter, but I don't have a lot of time in the summer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.